I'm Vincent Irving, aka DJ V. You know what it is. I'm here with DJs and and entertainment, but really I really appreciate and want to thank you for all of your support and your shares, and just ask that you continue to subscribe. You're here.
That's right.
What are
doing here?
Yeah, okay, I know.
We are working.
Got it. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What did the five fingers say to the face? DJs and Entertainment is with Charles Smart, aka DJ Finguz. Interesting name. How did that come about?
Well, my name, actually I had 3 DJ names.
Okay.
I started out in New York. I started DJing about 1980, about 85. For the first, it was because I was doing graffiti also, so I combined both my names. And I was DJ Cope 2, then I went to DJ Bev, and then eventually when I moved to Kansas City, when I got here, I changed it to Rebel, DJ Rebel.
You didn't get some name, right?
I do a lot of different stuff. I'm always using my hands, so I said, I'm good with my hands, so that's where DJ Finguz came from.
Sounds good. So you mentioned graffiti, 85. Let's dig into that, man. How did you get into graffiti?
Well, growing up in New York in Harlem, exactly. Always riding trains and subways, and grew up in the projects. And my mom was a school teacher.
Gotcha.
And she didn't want me out in the streets too much, so. It was 3 or 4 things you could do growing up in projects. Either you was selling drugs, either you were selling drugs, or you was doing some type of graffiti, or you was a rapper, or you was what did we call them back then? Hip hop dancers.
Yep. Break dancers.
The break dancers. So I wound up I had a talent for sketching and everything, and
really?
Started putting stuff on books, and next thing you know, I was getting together with other guys that did graffiti, and we were doing murals and hitting the subway yards and everything, just doing stuff.
Right.
Some of it was legal, some of it wasn't.
I feel you. Hey, unless you get caught, unless you get there. That's all.
Things,
right.
And from the graffiti, it intertwines with the hip hop.
No doubt.
And being in the parks after dark and stuff.
Right.
And that was the main thing on the weekends.
Wow.
Going to the parks after dark when. Word got around. There wasn't no flyers really. I mean, they had flyers, but not enough.
Right.
So
word of mouth.
It was word of mouth from first thing in the morning till dark.
Wow.
Hey, they're gonna have a party at so and so park, at this time.
Right.
And so and so is gonna be, guest MCing or whatever.
Right.
So I met everybody I could think of that was coming back up in the day with no record labels.
Wow.
You were meeting people like Love Buck Starsky, Africa Bambaataa, Zulu Nation, Cold Crush Brothers.
Wow.
Everybody was just coming, performing, doing their
thing. It was just starting,
And nobody felt like they were celebrities. Everybody, everyday thing, they still taking the train.
Right.
Taking the buses to locations and stuff, walking, wherever it is. They just neighborhood celebrities.
Right.
They didn't feel like they were, better than the next rapper coming up or whatever.
Right.
Everybody kind of just stuck together no matter what borough you were from.
Right.
I mean, you had competitions,
Right.
like, KRS-One and from the Bronx, and you had MC Shan, Queensbridge. But I went to every borough.
Right.
Because I was usually by myself.
Right.
I didn't care. Whatever party was at, I was going.
You was that.
And my main thing was getting over by the DJ booth, because that was my passion, was the music and how scratching was coming about then.
Right.
And I favored DJ more than MC.
Right.
But at the same time, the MCs gave the DJ more props and more respect, saying, hey, this is my DJ, don't nobody mess with him.
Right.
And he's the number one on the list as far as making sure he's taken care of, make sure nobody messes up his equipment, because without him,
No music. No party.
Music.
Right.
No party. Everything shut down. We got to go. I was tagging along with whoever was doing the party, lugging equipment, also with the other members of different crews.
Wow.
Because I had family members in different boroughs.
Right.
So they would sometimes call me and say, hey, we having a party, so can you get out here, and how you're going to get in is you'll be carrying equipment.
Right.
Or just say you with so-and-so,
right.
and then just make sure you get here on time before the party actually starts.
Right.
So, and as far as actually being, spending at a party, it's about 85, 86 when I actually, got in on the first party, and it got contagious because you see people having fun,
right,
enjoying themselves, and you're just like, dang, I did that.
Right, exactly.
The music I'm playing is making them do this.
Right.
And it's like, yeah.
The connection was there.
Yeah. It wasn't no money there back then, but it's just the fact that.
Right, it wasn't about money.
It was all about, hey, so-and-so is going to be here, And like I said, I ran into some of everybody, just public transportation.
Right.
Kane was coming up. Bismarcky, Sugar Hill Gang, they did autographs, but they didn't feel like they were celebrities. But they would just still, sign people's stuff just because.
Exactly.
And
They felt
I like I said, the list goes on. Cool V, LL, Run DMC. Everybody's either taking. They were called. There were transportation cars. I forgot what they were called back then.
Right. I remember those gypsy taxis or whatever.
Either gypsy taxis or
people would just have car services.
Yeah, they were using mainly was like
the ghetto Uber of the day.
Yeah, it was 98 Oldsmobiles and stuff like that they were using for rides. They were like livery service, and they would take them to the parties for the projects.
Exactly, because those are some big cars. We call them boats. Yeah,
right.
Rolling boats.
So they had the whole crew in there.
Right.
Get in there.
And you could do it with room left over.
Yeah. So, and, it was just riding with them. Hey, this is the address. And, you taking the train, meet you there.
Wow.
And it was a lot of times if we were going to other boroughs just because you take the whole project with you. Having people can go, get on the train and bus because you never know what's going down.
Right.
And you want to have some of your own people there just in case, because it was starting to be a little rivalry. Brooklyn didn't like the Bronx. And, Manhattan didn't like going over to Queens or going to the Bronx. Just back and forth.
Right.
For the most part, everybody got their own respect.
Right.
So,
It was cool. Once again, DJs and Entertainment is with the ultimate entertainer, New York born DJ Finguz, but better known as Charles Smart. I know you've started in 85, so I know you got plenty of stories to tell us. Can you give us 2 memorable events?
I think it had to be Madison Square Garden when the event or the tour was going on for Raising Hell tour.
Wow.
And
Run DMC.
Run DMC. That was Run DMC. Houdini. Public Enemy.
Wow.
I want to say Kwame.
Wow.
LL Cool J. And there was a couple other opening acts too.
Wow. What year was that?
That was, I want to say that was 85, 86, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 86. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I got to go on stage. I went up there with Grandmaster D.
Wow.
From Houdini. And that was one of my cousin's best friends.
Beautiful.
And went up there and helped him set up and sound check and everything. And got to stand up there during the concert and everything and just watch the crowd just go crazy and watch all the performers and acts and stuff.
Right.
And it was mind-blowing how, I got into the sound. So
right.
How the sound was sounding, the speakers was hitting.
Right.
You could feel it in the back of the Madison Square Garden. That's a lot of people, Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
You could, and you saw how much work it was to set up the sound and to get everything right.
Right.
And to practice scratching in an empty stadium. You could hear and feel it. Like, man, this can't be. Turntables ain't supposed to make no noise like that. But the speakers back then, they were
right. They was huge and heavy.
Huge and heavy, and I remember because I used to like the old movie Fight the Power. I had a big boombox that took 10 D batteries, and man, you going through batteries right and left. If you had no job or some type of mom, hey, I need
you had to commandeer.
Right, wasn't cheap.
No, they was not, and you had to commandeer those batteries the best.
Exactly. Put them in the refrigerator, get them It lasts so long, old school. Batteries
Yeah, that's definitely old school, but I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That was one event, and I want to say another event was it was a bandstand in Harlem. I want to say it was off of Lenox Avenue.
Okay.
And that was when African Bambaataa came and performed, and right behind them was Sugar Hill Gang.
Wow.
They were the coolest guys,
Wow.
And they just told stories of things happening in everyday life that was going on in the neighborhoods there.
Wow.
And it wasn't about the drugs or the money. It was just about your everyday life and what's going on, and how you met this girl and how you hung out with your fellas and y'all got a ride. That's what they were. OJs.
Okay.
That's what the cars were.
Okay.
OJs.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I remember that.
Okay, gotcha.
They were like cabs.
Right.
But they were more luxury vehicles, like I said, the Cadillacs and the 98 Oldsmobiles.
Right.
And things like that. And then when people started making money, those rappers then, I think Jeeps was coming out, like Isuzu Jeeps and stuff like that. They were starting, whole crew, everybody's getting the same vehicle, different colors, trying to get rims and get beat put in it, things like that. So it was evolving. One thing I remember in particular when they started doing the brand labeling, like the Fendi and the Fila and the Gucci print outfits. My man down there in Harlem, Dapper Dan.
Yep, Dapper Dan.
Shop, stayed busy. I think it was 3 o'clock in the morning.
He was
had
still
people
pumping
there
them
working.
out. Yep.
If they had a concert like the next night, he wanted to make sure those guys had the outfits and everything fit right.
Wow.
And everything. They spent money.
Yeah, no doubt.
But he was pointing. He was doing something that the regular manufacturers didn't want to do.
Right, and for sure.
To this day, still alive, and now what? Now he's in the department store.
Yeah, for sure.
In the department store.
He got recognized.
So.
Yeah, I saw the story on Dapper Dan. That was interesting. Wow. So you was right there because he was out of Harlem, correct? Yeah.
Right there on 125th Street.
Wow.
That's where the shop was. It was down the street from Apollo.
Wow.
So
yep.
It was just a little store. And he bought, I think, the property next door to him because his sewing room was getting too small for the amount of business that was coming in. So he needed a bigger sewing room.
Right.
So, because first he started from home, then he started, got the little shop in 125th.
Right.
Made it a little bigger. And, the name traveled through all the boroughs. Hey, man, where you get that outfit from? Hey, I need a jacket. I need, pants, the match, hat, Kangos.
Right.
He transferred anything he could into print. Into whatever, what was going on in print, like Gucci, Fendi, whatever it was. He was doing it. Your sneakers, everything.
Wow.
That's how you knew one of the guys that had more status, or either they was doing something, either they were rapping,
right. Business. They were conducting business by any means necessary.
Right. and the two crews that stuck out, as far as that went, as far as the print and their clothing, made sure they were up to par. Was I want to say Juice Crew, because I remember Big Daddy Kane and his brothers Scoop and Scrap went with him everywhere.
Wow.
And you couldn't catch Big Daddy without his
Scoop
attire being
all the
attire had to be perfect or he wasn't coming out the house.
Wow.
Him, Biz Marquis, and then Boogie Down Productions, of course. That's the whole crew laced out.
Right.
So he Dapper Dan stayed busy for years.
Man, that's
for
beautiful.
years.
And you got to see that. And that's wild because that's the stuff we would see on the early days of MTV. Whenever you see album covers.
Right.
I think of Eric B. and Rakim. They had those outfits on. I think they were Gucci or Fendi.
Yeah, I had mine was Gucci, brown and tan.
Wow.
I'm on the back of the cover of the Irving and Rakim page.
Really?
I'm on the corner, left corner.
Wow.
Bending down.
Jeez.
I enjoyed it.
Man, you gonna make me pull out the album because I got them.
You'll see it in there.
I'm gonna have to put it in the video, man. That is incredible. Man, that is incredible, man.
And back then, like I said, I started hanging with them real tough. And that was right before they got the record deal.
Wow.
And I went in the military. And I didn't think it was gonna,
right.
It's gonna be a regular neighborhood.
Right. Everybody
I didn't know it was gonna do what it did.
Right.
And when I got in the military, I got out of basic training because you really, you listen to stuff in basic training, but you can't really get a hold of stuff because you're
you're
in a
isolated
environment.
Yeah.
When I got out and I started getting phone calls and, hey, The label did so they got everything signed and they made this much more money and they're going overseas. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
I was like, man, I should have waited around a little while longer. But
You didn't know.
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't know.
Right.
I
A lot
didn't
of
know.
people, a lot of people try to start in rap. I
Right.
did too. And you don't know whether it's going to pop or
And
not.
in that process, I collected a lot of memorabilia, a lot of records. I collected, 12 inches,
Right.
and access to record stores was everywhere. Like it was like liquor stores. Every corner had a record store.
Sure.
Every neighborhood, so you could always. Soon as something came out, boom,
It was there.
It was there the next morning.
Wow.
If it wasn't there that night.
Right.
Now, when I moved to Kansas City, when I got the military,
A little bit
92,
slower. A little bit slower.
But I'm gonna tell you who helped me out a lot when I moved here, because being an outsider, everybody grew up with the other DJs. They went to school with them, like Fresh and everybody. They went to school with them, grew up around them. They lived on their block or whatever.
Right.
Nobody knew who I was.
Right.
So I started going to Body Works. Even though I moved to Kansas.
Right.
Started going to Body Works a lot on the weekdays, weekend. And I met DJ Dink.
Yep.
And I also met DJ Hank.
Yep.
And me and DJ Dink, we started clicking up pretty good. I would go up there while he's playing, and I always brought him new stuff. Hey man, you gotta listen, play this tonight. I'm telling you, play this song. You gotta play this song. He listened to like first 30 seconds. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that in there.
Right.
I said, watch, they gonna go crazy.
Wow.
And they would, because there'd be a lot of Aviate remixes and stuff.
Right. I remember.
Fat Man Scoop stuff. And he's like, man, this is slamming. We go record shopping together, look for 12s over in Kansas, Overland Park or something like that. One of the record stores over there, Music and More, stuff like that. And I met Hank also at Body Works, and he hooked me up with a street team guy named Gary Dumas. Gary would get you them, whatever came out from whatever coast, he had them.
Yep.
Hey man, I got these for y'all. I just want y'all to get them out there, get these people's names out there.
Right.
And he was good at doing what he was doing.
Wow.
I give him a lot of credit for him, like I said. And I just kind of clicked up with those three when I kind of first moved here, and kept a relationship with mainly Dink and Hank. Dumas, he moved on to other stuff, which, you grow, you move on to something different in life. So.
No doubt.
But I give him, give him most respect. I'm going to tell you a story about Dink. Don't nobody know.
Okay, please.
I had so much music on CD, and I don't know how many cases I had. Now I was working my regular job.
Right.
I came home, somebody broke in my house.
Wow.
Stole all my music.
Wow.
I didn't have not a piece of music. Dink, he worked the club at night.
Right.
Sundays was his relaxed day.
Right.
I would go over his house 7, 8 o'clock in the morning with spools of blank CDs and record everything over that I had and everything that he had, so I could continue my business.
Yeah.
And he never charged me a dime. It took me probably about 2 months every Sunday, like 8 to 10 hours a day, just recording. And he never charged me a dime. That's my brother to this day. He called me, need something.
Sporty.
Where you at? I'm on my way.
Sporty.
You need to borrow something? I know you're down, your equipment down. Come get mine.
Right.
Do what you gotta do. So, I always give him props for that, being real with being true to your friendship and stuff. So that's my dude.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. So do you remember your first album? What was it?
My first album, believe it or not, you remember those old entertainment systems your parents had?
Yes, I do.
Old consoles with
I do. With the TV, TV record player.
It was Secret Weapon. Was the name of the song.
Wow.
It's first 12 inch. And after that, the second one I got, I remember, was that I actually bought myself, was called It's Yours by Tila Rock.
Yep.
Man, when that song first started, you know what it is.
Right.
No
doubt.
That was I was like, who made that, and what are they using to get them hard beats?
Right.
I said nothing was harder than that. And the only other person that could match that stuff was at the time, I think he was like the beat king then, was Mantronics.
Wow. I remember
Guy called DMX. They were killing it.
Wow.
They were the beats, anything that they made, they was killing
that. And I remember Mantronics.
Man, they were before their time.
They were. Yes, you are correct.
They were way before their time.
Because I remember popping those. You could pop those album ends and just ride to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The beats were just that slamming.
I don't care what system you had, in your vehicle, whatever. was getting you was getting some good clarity. They prided themselves on bass being clear.
That is true.
And make sure you heard every little and everything that they did.
Wow.
And man,
you have dusted off some cobwebs with Mantronics. I didn't forget about it.
Yeah.
What will be the future of DJ Finguz?
Well, right now, I'm letting the younger generation take over. If I find young casters, male, female, because a lot of females out there too that's doing their thing, that trying to get started, don't know what equipment they need to start off basic, they want to get into the business, whatever, I got any information to give them as far as contact people or where to source out used equipment until you can afford, your own equipment or things like that nature. I'm all for it because I know a lot of people, they still want to hold on to it. And as we get older, we like the older music, the old school stuff. So some of this newer stuff is not for us.
Right, that is true.
It's not for us.
That is true.
If I get a call, hey, I need you to do this graduation or this prom,
right?
Blah blah blah.
Sweet 16 or something.
This is the age limit. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna pass this on to this person I know that can take care of you the best way, and the kids will be happy.
Right.
At the event.
For sure.
So I'm just all about everybody getting. There's a lot of money to be made. There's still money to be made. Everybody can get a piece of money. Everybody, you don't have to be a hog and try to get it all.
Everybody can eat
from 5 or 10 all the way up to the 50.
That's true.
Just
right.
Everybody.
There's a smorgasbord out there. Yeah. Everybody can eat.
Everybody can eat, and if you share your knowledge and information, your name will still live on regardless.
That is definitely true, too, man. Why do you love DJing so much, man?
I like to see the crowd's reaction. I'm gonna tell you. One quick story. I did a wedding reception for an old friend of mine. I had known her since I moved to Kansas. I moved to Missouri, so it had to be at that time, maybe a good 5 to 8 years. She got engaged with her fiance. I met him a while back and everything. Said, hey, I want you to do my wedding reception. That was the first wedding reception I've done, and it was at the Jack Reading Center.
Okay.
That was the first wedding reception I've done where it felt like a big family reunion. Everybody was having a good time. It didn't matter what I played. People stayed on the dance floor. It was memorable to them, but more memorable to me because it was so much fun. It was like I wasn't working.
Right.
I was having a good time. I was like, hey, this is what it's supposed to be. It was just so much energy there.
Right.
And the family atmosphere they had between both families connecting together, being as one. After that, it was just great. Wow. And that's one of many events, but that one sticks out. One of the
still the love for you.
Yeah.
That's
and to this day, they still married. So
that's a good. You did a good thing. You was part of a great. Congratulations to it, because everybody can't stay.
Right.
Along that note, man, transitioning for all that you have, because you have a lot. How can people get in contact with you?
Well, you can email me at fingersprint1 FINGUZPRINT the number 1 at yahoo.com.
Okay.
And that's the best way to get a hold of me.
Are you on Facebook or any social?
Facebook, under Charles Smart.
Got you.
Contact phone number 816-256-0667.
Beautiful.